Hello everybody, Saigan Cat here with more of the Warframe live walkthrough Let's Play guide thing. Oh sweet, look at that sweet daily tribute.
When you are ready,
yeah, ooh, that's what usually gets me, these 50% off market purchases. Can also go towards blueprints, so we don't necessarily have to. Let's take a look at primary weapons real quick. So, ooh, we could get blueprints for a Latron. We could get blueprints for a proper burst on. It's tempting. It's tempting. Let's take a look. So, this blueprint for a proper burst on is I'm more interested in a Latron, though, honestly. Are there no... Oh, man, is that by mastery rank? Ugh! Ugh! There's a couple of weapons that I definitely want. That are available pretty early on. Oh well. Oh well. Let's get to it. What are we doing? What are we doing today? Vor's prize. Locate the foundry segment. We're going to get into crafting this time. Yeah. Let's do some crafting. Locate the foundry segment.
Tenno, we may have a problem. The colony is unresponsive. Get to the surface so we can see what's going on.
I'm starting to feel like I should move this to solo. Not because I can't stand new players, but just to, like, keep the missions going smoothly, you know? There's this element of chaos in playing with completely new players while trying to record a guide video. But at the same time, this will give you a better idea of what to expect if you are new to the game. And starting the game with other players, oh man, that is the best way to learn it.
I was afraid of this. The Grenier are here, and I cannot find any signs of living colonists. You still have a job to do. Find the foundry segment.
There it is. I am pretty impressed with the Switch version. There's a couple of things that I've been noticing. For example, the input delay is it's a touch longer on the Switch than it is on... Oh, I'm out of energy. Ha ha ha. It's a touch longer on the Switch
You've been seen.
than it is on the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's not awful, but if you play on one of the other systems regularly, you'll definitely notice.
Eliminate all Grenier and provide justice for the colonists.
Soon the worm will be in your spine, and I will control this warframe of yours. I will purge your doting mother and bring you home.
Yes, Vor, you're terribly interesting. Like, so interesting, Vor. There she is. I knew I saw her run over here. Mag getting those group kills. If those guys with the shields are annoying you, there's a stat that you want to watch out for called punch through. Not only will it let you shoot through a shield, but it will also allow your bullets to pass through enemies and onto the enemy behind them. It's a great stat. There's a couple of mods that give it. Arrows tend to have it naturally. If you're looking for another reason to go with bow and arrow, there you go. There we go. And we can head out now. Oh man, they're like way behind. I might as well do some looting. This is why I had some concerns over playing with the newcomers. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna set a waypoint. Hopefully that will spur them on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Sand Strider, for coming along. If it seems like I'm impatient, it's not, because I do remember this early stage of the game. And what they're doing, taking their time to explore, taking their time to grab resources, all of that is excellent, because every one of these resources is something that you are going to be using later. Alright, so now we'll be able to extract, at least. Where are my emotes? There we go. Yeah. See, we got 2 Excaliburs, a Volt, and a Mag. There are support style frames in the game. You're not really going to see them until later on, but they're definitely there, and they are a lot of fun. Let's see, mods that we got. Fast Deflection is great, gives shield recharge. Convulsion gives bonus to electricity damage on pistol, which is pretty good. At this stage of the game, really anything that gives you additional damage is going to be great. You want to prioritize raw damage first. Anything that gives you multi-shot, which you're probably not going to see at this stage. And elemental damage as well. I'll do another video on damage types in the future. Nope, we're not. We're leaving the squad. Also, if you want to move to solo, here's how you do it. When you open up your main menu, you'll go up here to where you have your information. And this globe right here, this is where you set it. So you can set it to being public, friends only, or invite only, and solo. We're going to move it over to solo just to keep things snappy. Let's go ahead and install our Foundry segment. This is where we do all of our crafting.
Foundry restored. Here, the operator will craft many powerful weapons and tools to exact revenge for dismantling me. To expand your arsenal. Oh no. Operator, our component storage has been looted as well. Typical Corpus. Sure, the blueprint is free, but jack up the components. Operator, we will need resources in order to build the countermeasure blueprint.
So, wow, that's actually really kind of them. Give you air support and Arcwing launcher blueprints.
If you're looking for resources,
Why didn't you just say so? I know just the place, but I demand an apology. My mother is no gymnast, and she would never eat those things.
You can go straight to operator. I am sorry.
All right.
Wow. You may want to get a new ship Sevlon when you can afford it. That one seems glitched. I've marked your navigation with the place I know. It's good for resources, if you can stand the cold.
Excellent. Is everyone done talking now? Okay, yeah, great. So this is your foundry. This is where you will craft things. This is another place where you could have the potential to spend platinum. See, when you build something, it takes a certain amount of time. The Ascaris Negator, which is the next portion of the quest, this is what we're trying to do so we can free ourselves from Vor's control. This will build itself automatically. And in addition to requiring one more fix, 240 polymer bundles, and 450 salvage, which we're going to go get on our next mission, it also costs 100 of our credits. So even crafting stuff in the foundry is going to run us credits, which is the perfectly easy to obtain in-game currency. The air support charges, those require 1 minute. Arcwing launchers consume 30 minutes. Now, some blueprints can take up to 3 days, 72 hours to complete. You can rush the order by spending some platinum to do it, but I would recommend against doing that. You know, there's always something else you can do. Unless you're like... unless you're doing a lot of rift running and selling a lot of prime stuff to other players for platinum, I would recommend just, you know, hold on to it. Spend your early game platinum on those equipment slots, on your Warframe slots. Use it to increase your inventory space. Do we have time for 2 missions? How long has this one been going on? That's 12 minutes. Okay. No, we'll do it. We'll do it. I'm not going to be with other players. I can just breeze right through this. We're going to raid the Corpus resource caches. I do want to say, and I can't speak for the Switch community because it's so new, but I imagine there's a lot of people carrying over from the PS4, Xbox One, and PC communities into the Switch communities for the opportunity to play Warframe.
Intel suggests that this outpost is host to several rich supply caches. Raid the caches and take what you need.
In a mobile capacity.
This outpost belongs to the Corpus, a secretive but extremely powerful merchant cult known to be working with the Grenier. Darvo will fill you in.
This is our first taste of the Corpus enemy types.
Freaking lasers. These guys are bad news, but they're also loaded, which is why you're here.
Corpus enemy types have a tendency to use a lot of robots, have shielded enemies, but they're also not quite as dangerous. Resource cache. Okay.
Keep moving.
That's the first
There's
one.
more here.
Technically, this is stealing, but don't let that bother you. The Corpus aren't exactly beacons of moral fortitude either. They sell anything to anyone. Don't get me wrong, I like profits. A lot. But I don't sell my wares to the damned Grenier. That's unforgivable.
Corpus are actually a really interesting enemy faction. Alright. You want to take out these security cameras, because when those things see you and they turn red, they will very often set up a laser grid across doorways. And that laser grid will knock you down. It won't just do damage, it'll also knock you down and prevent you from passing through. If you do your sliding spin attack, this one, you can pass through them, and there's a couple of Warframes that can just pass through them anyways. Rhino can do it with his armor skin on, or iron skin on. Limbo can just rift walk through it. Ivara's got a mod that allows her to pass through them. So there's other ways through those laser fences.
not done yet. Find the next cache. You almost have what you need.
Might as well turn off the alarms. So the corpus alarms, these are done by selecting these different hexagons, and you can turn them using the L and R buttons. And you want to make it so that all of the lines connect to each other. The corpus ones are actually pretty enjoyable. I like doing those, especially once they get more interesting. Since we are going to be doing more crafting soon, I am trying to pay more attention to what I'm picking up. It'll be a lot easier once I get, the companion. You can get, like, pet Kubros and Kavats and Helminth chargers and things that follow you around and help you out in combat. And then there's also, little robot companions that, well, they're not as interesting in combat. They can help a bit. But they just follow you around. But they're very useful. Carrier more than any of them.
The Ascaris has reached your mind and rendered your Lotus mute. You will return to me over your own free will.
All right. Let's get this Ascaris off of us. Ooh, enemy sense. This one's nice. It adds enemy radar to your minimap. Flow is great, gives you more energy to work with. Equilibrium is fantastic on a lot of frames. It makes it so that when you pick up health, you also get some energy back. And when you pick up energy, you also get some health back. It's a great survivability tool. Especially if you're spamming abilities, it's a wonderful way to heal your Warframe. And that's not always something that's available to you. Most of the time, if you want to heal, you're kind of stuck waiting to see a health drop. With Equilibrium, so long as you're spending energy, any energy that you pick up is also going to heal you. So this should be everything that we need to make our
Operator, are you all right?
Ascaris thing. There it is. So it'll highlight once you have everything. It checks everything that you have the resources for. This is an instant build. Oh, excuse me. It's not instant. It's 30 seconds.
We Grineer are millions strong, but with a flaw. We are diseased, rotting, sterile. But now we have you.
Kind of feel bad for the Grineer. They can't breed. They're all clones.
Build the countermeasure.
The problem is that, like, every batch that they have, there's more and more mutations, so they're in danger of dying off, and they think that the Tenno...
When I deliver you to them, our love will be reborn.
Which is what you're playing as.
Feed on your divine blood. Our children will flourish without disease. And I will die at last.
Anyhow, that's what he's talking about.
Father, grandfather.
Talkie,
What
talkie,
do you
talkie.
think you're doing?
Talkie, talkie, talkie.
What a waste.
Tenno. Good. You managed to disarm Vor's Ascaris. I thought I lost you. Oh no. The Ascaris had a tampering failsafe. It's burrowed into you and armed itself. We'll need to find Vor before it detonates. Get to navigation. Boarding a Grineer ship to access their personnel records will be the fastest way to find Vor.
Operator, what are you waiting for?
Also, while we're here, let's talk about customization. Let's customize our Excalibur a little bit. And you can do that by hovering over him and going to Appearance. Now, at first,
Hello, operator.
we're not going to really have a lot of options for our coloring. You can get new color palettes as part of events. You can get them off of the market. Usually on the holidays, they'll have a holiday-themed color palette for 1 credit on the market, so you always want to make sure to look for that. I'm not very good... Ooh, that's nice, actually. I'm not very good with color planning, so I like to just hit random colors until I get something that looks neat. So I like that. I'm going to keep that. There's also skins. They usually cost platinum. But they add some fancy new looks. There's animations, which every Warframe comes with 2 of its own, which kind of changes how they move around and what their idols are. You can, for platinum, purchase other Warframes animations to use on yours. So, say I wanted him to be, like, floating around, I could go and grab Titania's animation set. And now he's all floaty. You do not, when you do get an additional Warframe, like, say I did get Titania, that would not make all of her animations available across all of my Warframes. That's more of a bonus thing. In addition to customizing how your characters look, you can even customize what your weapons look like. So let's do Appearance on this. And I want to, yeah, let's just do random colors. If we get something that matches nicely. I kind of like the green, but ooh, yeah, I like that. We'll keep that. You can copy your Warframe colors if you want everything to match. It makes it pretty easy. There are different weapon skins that you can obtain. Usually at a low platinum price, but sometimes they're also given out as part of events or special missions. And while we're here, finishing up, no more capacity was gained for Excalibur, but I think we might have ranked up some weapons. Whoops. Upgrade. Yeah, so we do have another point on our Breton. These Bane of Corpus and Bane of Grineer, these specific enemy mods, are not terrible, but they're kind of like the last thing that you want to use. If you fill out the rest of your mod slots with stuff and you know you're going to be fighting Grineer, yeah, you could throw the last one in there, but usually there's going to be something better that you can put on there. Also, when you are customizing your weaponry, please note that all of your weapons and all of your Warframes have up to 3 different mod configurations. And if you come over here to this pencil and paper icon, you can rename those configurations. So if we wanted to, we could build a specific configuration for Grineer, a specific configuration for Corpus, a specific configuration for maybe running like stealth mission types, because we can get mods that will silence our noisy weapons. So there's a lot that we can do here, and there's a lot of quality of life options that may not be immediately obvious. Since we have a free point of capacity, I am going to fuse my Serration right now. And you can do that by just hovering over it and hitting Y on the Switch or square on PS4 or X on an Xbox One. And it'll take you right over to your mod table showing only the installed mods. for that piece of equipment. We're going to go ahead and fuse this. Oh, no, we're not. We have no endo. Curses. I was going to fuse it. Game. Rude. That's fine. That's fine, I guess. If there's anything else that we have that can be... No. It can be upgraded. We have 2 free points on our kunai, which doesn't do anything for us right now. Only 3 points. Everything requires 4, and we don't have the right polarity. Fine! If you need quick cash, here, let's sort by duplicates, because I think I do have a duplicate. Yeah, we have 2 convulsions. Now, I don't really need 2 convulsions. There's an argument that having 2 would work because sometimes your companions have a pistol weapon type, so you could have 1 convulsion on yourself and 1 convulsion on your companion. But for the sake of this guide, let me show you what you can do with your extras. We're going to select it. We're only going to get rid of 1 of them. And you can sell your mods for credit, which is a great way if you're like a little bit short. Sell a couple of duplicate mods. I guarantee you're going to have so many duplicate mods 20 or 30 hours into the game. You can also dissolve extra mods into Endo. There's a lot of ways to get Endo. But again, this is a great way to like fill in that extra amount. We'll talk about Ayatan treasures later when we get to, when we meet Maru. So there, I dissolved it. I now have 10 Endo to work with. Let's see how much it was to fuse this flawed serration. We probably can't do it. It costs 20, of course. You know what we can do? Because I already know that I'm not going to be using these, and you can select multiple ones at a time. Since I'm not going to be using those, let's dissolve the Bane of Corpus and the Bane of Grenier. And now, let's level up our serration 1 level and bring it from 10 to 20% damage boost for our rifles and bows that have serration equipped. And you use LNR to determine how many ranks are going into it. And when you're ready, you hit Y to apply the fusion. And so long as that's equipped, that will actually automatically go through on any weapons that have that mod equipped. You don't need to re-equip it. You will get a warning if it makes it incompatible with something, if it pushes it over the capacity boundaries. And if you do go ahead and ignore that warning, then it simply unequips that mod from those weapons that no longer have the capacity for it. All right, that's enough for this episode. Next episode, I believe we should be finishing up Vor's Prize, and we will be seeing our first boss fight. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I'm your host, Saigan, and I will see you all next time. Take care.